Hey there, beautiful people. Welcome back. I'm really happy you're here today. I want to ask you something before we even start. And I want you to be honest with yourself. How long have you been learning English? Maybe a few months, maybe a few years, maybe even longer. Now let me ask you something more important. Can you actually speak it? I don't mean reading or understanding videos. I mean, when someone asks you, "How was your day?" Can you answer naturally, without freezing or overthinking? For many people, the answer is no, or at least not yet. And if that's you, I want you to understand something very clearly. You are not bad at English. You are not slow, and you are definitely not the problem. The real problem is how you've been learning. Most learners spend so much time listening, reading, and studying grammar, but almost no time actually speaking. So when it's time to talk, the brain just stops. Not because you don't know English, but because you haven't trained your brain to use it in real life. My name is Maria, and this is English Podcast for You. The podcast where you don't just listen, you speak. Because here's the truth. You cannot learn to speak English by only listening. It sounds obvious, but think about it. You watch videos, you listen to podcasts, you read books, you learn vocabulary, and then suddenly someone asks you a simple question and nothing comes out. That's because speaking is a skill, and like any skill, it needs practice. Real practice. With your voice. So in this podcast, we're doing something different. I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking with you. That means you're going to answer questions out loud. Yes, out loud. Even if you're alone, even if it feels strange at first. That's exactly where progress begins. This is your safe space to practice, to make mistakes, and to grow. Now, today's topic might sound simple, but it's actually one of the most important skills in English. Talking about your day. Think about how often this happens. Someone asks, "What did you do today?" Or, "How was your day?" These are everyday questions, but for many learners, they feel surprisingly difficult. And that's because they haven't practiced answering them in a natural way. Before we start practicing, let me explain something quickly. When you study English, you store information in your brain. But speaking is different. It's not just about knowing, it's about doing. Think about driving a car. At the beginning, you think about every step, but later it becomes automatic. Speaking English works the same way. You don't need more information, you need more repetition and real use. When English speakers, native speakers, talk about their day, they don't use complicated language. They use very specific, very common patterns. And if you learn these patterns and put them in your mouth, not just in your head, in your mouth, they will come out automatically when you need them. So, let's make it simple. I'm going to give you 3 easy patterns that you can use to talk about your day. First, I woke up at... This is how you start your story. For example, I woke up at 7. Or, I woke up late today. Now I want you to say it out loud with your real time. Take a moment and say it. Next, I went to... and I... This helps you describe what you did during the day. For example, I went to work and I had a meeting. Or, I went to the supermarket and I bought some food. Now it's your turn. Say one sentence about your day using this pattern. The third pattern is, the best part was, or the worst part was. This is what makes your story interesting because it shows your feelings. For example, the best part was having coffee with my friend, or the worst part was being stuck in traffic. Now try it yourself and say one sentence out loud. Now let me show you how all of this comes together. I woke up at 9 and I felt really tired. I went to the kitchen and I made coffee because I needed energy. Then I went to work and I spent most of the day answering emails. The worst part was feeling tired all morning, but the best part was relaxing in the evening and listening to music. That's it. Simple, natural, and clear. Now it's your turn. And this is the most important part of the episode. Don't just think. Speak out loud and then write your answer in comment. Don't worry about mistakes. Just keep going. Tell me about your day using the patterns we practiced. I woke up at, I went to, and the best part was, or the worst part was. I'm listening. Wow. Now wait a second. Think about what you just did. You spoke English about your real life. Not from a book, not from a script, but from your own experience. That's real speaking. And yes, maybe it wasn't perfect. Maybe you made mistakes. Maybe you paused, searched for words, or repeated yourself. That's completely normal. Because fluency is not about perfection. It's about continuing to speak, even when it feels messy, even when it's not clear, even when you're not sure. That's where real progress happens. Before we finish, I want to change one idea that many learners have. A lot of people think, I will speak when I'm ready. But the truth is, you become ready by speaking. Confidence doesn't come first. Practice comes first. The more you speak, the more confident you become. So here's your challenge. Every day for 5 minutes, talk about your day in English. Just you, your voice, and your thoughts. Use the patterns we learned today. And if you can, record yourself. After a few weeks, you'll hear a huge difference. And remember, learning to speak a language is not about being perfect from the beginning. It's about showing up, practicing consistently, and allowing yourself to make mistakes along the way. Every time you open your mouth and try, you are training your brain to become more comfortable, more automatic, and more confident in English. So don't wait for the perfect moment to start speaking, because that moment will never come. Start now with what you have, using simple sentences, simple ideas, and your real experiences. That's enough. And if you're still listening to this point, write the word pattern in the comments. That way, I know you stayed with me until the end and you committed to practicing. It's a small step, but consistency is what makes the difference. Thank you for being here. Thank you for practicing. And thank you for choosing to speak instead of staying silent. I'll see you in the next episode. Keep going.